This guy is a fraud, an absolute fraud. ¿Por qué? Why? Sí, yo soy de España. Yo soy de Tenerife. Puta mierda.
Madrid.
Sí, sí, y mi equipo es Madrid también. Okay, brother, I'm gonna start fighting people around here because they don't. This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly what I'm talking about with Real Madrid fans. They don't understand what is the purpose of being a Real Madrid fan. I've been a Real Madrid fan for 30 años. 30 años.
Last year, I win the Champions League. Last year.
And now, ahora nada. Nada. Copa del Rey, nada.
The Arsenal. All the years, not win the Champions
League. Nadie.
Last year.
Este año nadie.
Memory. And this. Arsenal.
See, memories. They're talking about memories. This is what I'm talking about.
Arsenal win. Talk about.
This is what I'm talking about.
Oh, one of my favorite clips. End the stream, Dave. Big up to him, man. Absolute class. Fighting with his own fans. This is what my club have done to him and the Real Madrid fans last night. Big up to Hooks. Big up to Cal. Big up to George. We got Wolfie and Sava that are going to be joining us in a bit as well. Big up to everybody that's here. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe, people, and make sure you're following every single one of these guys on all of their platforms and their YouTube channels, man. They've been absolutely killing it. You've got Halftime Hooks, you've got Durag Diaries, and of course, you've got Coppish. Make sure you're following all of them, please. Look, man, Hooks, my guy, you told us to believe. Man.
Yeah,
and you know what? I'm going to say fair play to you, bro. You deserve a lot of praise. You deserve a lot of credit. You deserve a lot, along with the likes of Igal and some of the other people that believed and didn't stop believing. And there's people like myself and others that had our doubts that we could get through. But you know what? Wow. I didn't see that coming last night, bruv. Look, I might have seen us getting through the tie. I didn't see us winning both these games, bruv. So how you feeling, my bro? Talk to me.
You know what? Do you know what? Yeah, I can't lie. Yeah. First of all, just you see that video, yeah, the Dave video, yeah. That video there proves a wonderful point to me when Arsenal fans always say to me, "Oh, Real Madrid fans don't behave like Arsenal fans. Real Madrid fans have standards. Real Madrid this, that. Right? They sounded a lot like Arsenal fans, you know, talking about, oh, but we won something last year. Do you know what I mean? So it's not always, get the manager out, boo, 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 boo if they lose. So I think that point has been proven. Nice. I don't want to hear that talking point ever again from any Arsenal fan. Now, the second thing is, all you brothers, whether you're Arsenal fans, rival fans, tennis fans, snooker fans, golf fans, you, man, had me walking through these streaming streets, like I was Cersei from Game of Thrones, bro. Everybody dashing shit at me, saying shame, shame, shame. But by the way, I was right. You know what I mean? By the way, I was right. Yeah. So I'll over the next week or so, I will be scheduling myself in to a lot of people's streams where they don't even need to keep me there for too long. They just need to say, yo, Hooks, my bad. And then I'll keep on my merry way. Do you know what I mean? Because we did something mad. Yeah, we did something mad. Yeah. Historic. Yeah, in my opinion. We just beat the holders of the Champions League. Yeah, we beat Real Madrid. Yeah. And it's funny because everybody was telling me before the tie, after the first leg, that these men got 15 UCLs. Funny that the score was 1-5 in it. It was like it was written in the star. Like the stars are aligning. I know that bar pisses man off, but hey, you're gonna have to hold that today. and into the and do you know what? Yeah, even with the infinite joy, there's a slight bit of sadness. There's a slight bit of sadness in it because obviously, you know, my older bro, you get me, man like Cal, but I thought, you get me, I thought it was bro. Like I thought we was gonna look up to him. You know, I watch a lot of his streams.
Am I even older than you, bro? Oh man, you put me in this category, bro. I look old. You must be old. Like,
you know what? Yeah, it's funny that you say that. Yeah, because I found out yesterday that Gunnar Lee is actually younger than me, and I was confused, bro. So but when I say it, definitely in this YouTube game, my older bro, man, look up to him, all of that, learn some things from him. Man didn't even call my phone to say.
Bro, I had the kids, look, bro. Me and the missus was sorting the kids out, bro. I've got 3 under 5, bro.
I'm just saying, I was victorious at 10 p.m. last night. Yeah, it's now 10 past 4. Now, I mean, there's a lot of time. There's even sometimes in there where they're asleep. Little young ones are asleep. You know what I mean? True. So I'm just saying. So obviously, big up Arsenal. I think Saka has put to bed all this Rodrigo nonsense. You know, I think he's put that to bed. Like, you know, everybody's like, you know, everybody always tries to I guess disrespect Saka when it comes to like the bigger forwards in the game. And boy, I didn't see Mbappe do anything. I didn't see Vinicius do anything. I didn't see Rodrigo do anything. But I saw Saka do a lot. So I hope that finally he gets a bit more respect than what he usually does. And I guess the same can be said for Arteta, because Arteta just slayed Carlo Ancelotti. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Real Madrid most successful manager, no? Correct me if I'm wrong. You know, one of the most. Not only has he won the Champions League as a manager, he's won it as a player. We're talking about creme de la creme of manager, and Arteta slayed him. It's probably Arteta that sent him into his club retirement. So, by the way, I think Arteta needs a bit of respect for that. And yeah, I'm just here to hear all of the warranted apologies from the hating rivals. So yeah.
You know, one thing I didn't hear you say, Hooks, because you did say something.
There's a lot I could say.
I know, but all right, calm down, mate. I know you're happy. Just calm down.
I just have to clarify, because this is the part where you
right here. What Hooks has just done is the reason why no one wants to see Arsenal win the Champions League, bro.
Hey,
right?
You
Literally, I say one thing, he goes, whoa! He's like, just let it like itching. But wait, no, because there was one thing you said last week when we had a conversation about it. You said like, us, as in you who predicted Arsenal to win, can celebrate the win. Yeah, you predicted the win to you to go. You said us, bro. I don't know why you keep clarifying that. You predicted Arsenal to win. You won.
I predicted Arsenal to go through. That's something to say. But I actually predicted Arsenal to draw at the Bernabeu, but I predicted Arsenal to go through.
But that's what I'm talking about, the win in the tie. I'm talking about the win across both ties.
I'm just making sure that your language is correct, because I know you like to run agendas, so I'm just clarifying you on your
I'm not running no agendas. I'm just trying to clarify something that you said last week about other fans who didn't predict you guys to go through. You said fans that didn't predict you guys to go through, for one, need to stay on that side.
Oh yeah, don't bread man
on that side. They can't come and celebrate the ways they. So and also you had a name for them. You called them bottom.
Oh
gooners,
yeah. And the bottom gooners. Okay. Yeah.
I'm just trying to know, because Dan didn't predict you guys to go through. Is Dan part of? Are you calling Dan a bottom gooner? And should Dan not be allowed to celebrate this win? I'm just trying to clarify, because I want to know if there's some civil war. I need to know.
I know what George is trying to do it.
Yeah.
I want to know, amidst all the happiness and all the fun, that there is a little bit of civil war going on between the fan base. And just trying to clarify. Is Dan a bottom gooner?
Really sorry. I've noticed, George, you with and without the do-rag are two different people. When you got the do-rag on, you become a whole nother menace. I've clocked it now. I've clocked it. When the do-rag's on, I know I've got to keep George at arm's length, because I don't want to smoke. Because I'm noticing it now. I'm seeing the pattern emerging.
It's not. It's nasty. It's nasty what he's done there. Look, do you know what, Hook? I wouldn't even bite. Do you know what I mean? Don't even go down to George's level. Do you know what I mean? He's struggling. He's looking forward to tonight. Let him enjoy his game. Yes, Sava.
But then George is someone that if I don't address all of his questions that he asks me on streams, then every other stream I do afterwards, he'll be, oh, remember that time you didn't answer my question. So I'll answer your question. I know George now. I know him. So the difference between Dan and other Arsenal fans and non-rival fans is he's never insulted me for my opinion on Arsenal. He's never called man deluded, nothing like that. So then that for now, because maybe one day in the future that might start calling me deluded, and you get me. And if that happens, then he goes right into the bottom Guna category. But right now, he's floating somewhere in between balanced. He's balanced. So me and Dana.
Listen, I'm happy to be a floater, bruv. I'm happy to be a floater. Listen, I'll say this, man. I'll say this. Whether you're a top gooner or a bottom gooner, which is not something I've heard of until George has said that, whether you're Arteta in or Arteta out, or you're a Cronky lover or a Cronky hater, last night is one of the best nights we've had in a long time, man. And yeah, it ain't led to anything yet in terms of a trophy. And you know, the super chat that we're going to put in now is actually to you guys, which is from Chaitanya saying, let's go and win this Champions League. Focus. I think we must now. I think we've got to. I'm not saying we should because it's easy, because trust me, it ain't. PSG, Barcelona, Inter. This is the only way that Arsenal can have a really good season, because the league's done, it's finished, it's been done for quite some time now, and some people are saying we might not even hold on to second if this carries on with our league form. But when you look at like Newcastle coming up behind us and stuff, but when you look at this Champions League, said to my guy, I'll speak to you on this, Cal, because you know you've won it before. We only really need to win 2 games. We need to make sure we comfortably beat PSG. And we need to make sure we win the final. Now, no, it's easier said than done when you put it like that. But people say it's only 3 games to win. It's not even that. That's how close it is when you get to this far, man. So talk to me about Arsenal's chances in this competition before we go into last night's performance in a bit more detail, bro.
I have to say, for me, you've gone up the pecking order in terms of the favourite list. I think Barcelona is seen as everyone's favourite.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is reflective with the bookies. I don't really do the whole odds thing and understand it too great. I would have Arsenal as second favourites now behind Barcelona. I think you get to the final. I don't know if you win it. Anything can happen in a final. Trust me, I've been there, seen it, innit? Mm-hmm. What I will say is, for all the stuff I've said about Arteta, it seems as though he's now understanding how to navigate cup competitions. The league stuff still obviously is up in the air because he's still not got over the line with that. And he still hasn't got over the line with the Champions League yet. I don't know. I just felt like that first win over Real Madrid, the first leg, it kind of just ignited something within the fan base, in the team. For me, it kind of instilled a belief that I don't think they had before. And I've been a Liverpool fan seeing that when that it was reminiscent of when we beat Man City 3-0 at home in 17-18. Like the fan base was just like, oh no, we are that team. We are that team. Granted, we got to the final that season, didn't pan out, but the following season we got to the final and won it. I just feel like Arsenal turned the corner here, and I can't see. Look at Hooks is shameless as hell. I can't see you not getting to the final. Look, PSG is sick. They played us off the park, both legs. I just think the trajectory of our form at that time was going down, and PSG's was going up. Not taking anything away from them. I feel like Arsenal's form in the Champions League and PSG's form in the Champions League is kind of going to meet head on. And I think from a defensive aspect, I think Arsenal more so defensively. And I think that will be the difference in the tie. But as I said, the final, I predicted an Arsenal Inter final. And I actually believe if you get into it, it'll be a harder job than if you get Barcelona in the final.
So do I.
But yeah, I think, look, I have to sit here and I can't, as much as I want to draw negatives and just rattle you for the sake of rattling you, I can't sit here and do that to you and Dan at the moment, Hooks. Like, I
feel like if you look at it logically, Cal, they are the favourites, right? You know, you just beat the holders, you beat Real Madrid, they done the impossible. Arsenal are the favourites to win it now, and if they don't win it, I think they're falling if they don't win it now. Because how can you go and beat Real Madrid How can you go and beat Real Madrid and then not win the trophy? They're the current holders.
George, do you think we'll bottle it if we don't win it?
If I ever have a problem where I need a lawyer, I'm bringing George in.
George is unreal, man. I can't
because he's going to rattle the
it.
opposition and he's still going to get me off.
I agree. No, I agree with him. I agree.
Well, you agree we would bottle it if we don't win the Champions League?
I 100% agree.
No,
100 million% agree.
No,
Like,
you're not bottling it if you don't win it.
No. Because do you know what? Yeah. This is the way that I see it. Yeah.
If you have a
George, he's loving this. He's smiling. He's like, I got him.
Look at him, bro.
Do you know what it is? Now, do you know what it is? Yeah. So if Arsenal got knocked out by Real Madrid in this tie, then everyone would say that Real Madrid are going to go win the Champions Leagues, and that proves to me that they're the favorites. So if we beat the favorites, logically that makes us the new favorites. That's the way that I see it. So now
they weren't favourites though. They weren't favourites to win.
Yeah, but everyone views them as everyone like, okay, when I say favourites, I don't know what the book is for, but I mean like in terms of the general view of people that
it's because Real Madrid have done it so many times in recent past. That's that's why I don't think you'll be favourites. Yeah.
But I think that cool. Obviously, no disrespect to PSG. They're an amazing team. They play amazing football. I'm actually happy that I'm gonna get to watch my team play against such a well-flowing like team. Like this is why I'm in the Champions League, to see these kind of matches. And don't worry, Cal. The main thing in my brain is getting revenge for you, man. You know, hopefully we can avenge your untimely death in the Champions League.
We're all right, bro. We're good.
So you're not all right. You're not all right, but I hear it. So but I think what will most likely happen is we will completely shut them out at the Emirates, and then probably something similar that happened in Madrid will happen in Paris. Like we'll either draw or get like a narrow win, because the way that we play football just frustrates a lot of these like European teams that want to attack. Like all they care about is attacking. Like we frustrate them. We're sort of like not in terms of like quality of how good we are at it, but we're sort of like the English version of Inter Milan. We don't really care about playing flashy or scoring bare goals or any of that. Our goal is to make you not score. And if we can nick something, then we'll go and nick something. Now,
what about Partey not being available? For
the first leg, I don't mind.
Massive loss, man. Massive loss.
I think it would be more of a bigger loss if it was the Paris tie first.
The reason
but because
I say
it's the Emirates tie first, I don't think it's too much.
Doesn't that mean that Declan Rice is now going to be deployed as a six, though, as opposed to as
probably
sort of the box midfield?
Unless Jorginho's back, but they're saying Jorginho might be out for a bit. He's cracked his ribs, so it looks like Rice might have to play the six, which I'm cool with. But Thomas Partey is so pivotal, man. Yeah, Partey is a massive miss.
I would personally, like with Calafiori coming back, I would personally just look at, hey, put a double pivot of Rice and Miles Lewis-Skelly, and then just put Calafiori at left back. That's what I would do. Now, whether Arteta would do it, I don't know. But there is also the option of just going, hey, a double pivot of Marino and Rice as well, and maybe Rice plays as the more deeper one, and Marino takes over the role that's
what
Rice
I think it would be, bro. I think he'll put Trossard through the middle, and then Marino will drop back into midfield. That's what I think will happen. But look, he's got some options. But let's worry about that nearer the time. Sava, I mean, last night it was pretty special. If I'm honest, I know as a Spurs fan, it won't be like nice for you to see it. But what did you make of it? Do we deserve our flowers?
Oh, mate, excellent, absolutely brilliant. The thing is, as well, after the first leg, it's like you've got to go and get the second leg done as well. And I think, look, I said after the first leg, I can't see any way in which Madrid come back. This Madrid team is not what everyone thinks it is. I think a lot of people who watch La Liga will know this Madrid team is not it. Now, Hooks will take that. I'm taking it away from Arsenal. I'm not. But I think you were superior to them in both games. No, Hooks. I watch La Liga every week. This Real Madrid team are there for the taking. What are we wagging our finger at? I
just want to remind you of a certain Let's Talk Ball episode where you told me that Real Madrid was going to beat me.
Whoa, hang on. If you remember, I was one of the only ones on that show that said, I think Arsenal have got a chance because Madrid aren't that good. If you remember, Hooks, I don't listen. Hooks, let me finish. Right, I don't think this Madrid team for me is stagnant. This Madrid team for me is stagnant, and I think Arsenal had everything better than them. Better defense, better going forward, better midfield, more organised. You actually had tactics. And I think what we're seeing here now is I think we're seeing that Ancelotti is dated. If we're going to be brutally honest, Ancelotti had no way of countering anything. This is where I think we're going to see with PSG, Arsenal. That's the one. If listen, you impressed me the last 2 games. Let's see how good you are playing against a team that actually do have tactics. So this PSG team are hang on. You beaten who?
PSG. We've already beaten them before.
When?
Wait. I didn't go to the X-Men Mutant Academy yet, but I can see the future. Yeah, you're gonna tell me it was a different PSG. Cool. The only people that were missing was Kvara and Dembele. And then on top of that,
I just asked when.
We beat him in.
It was in the group
I'm
stage.
going to say. I asked when.
No, Sava, we beat them in November, like because in the new format of the Champions League.
That's all I wanted, Dan. Listen, look, this part. Look, I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a real good game. You've got one team that wants to dominate the football and that has explosive wingers, pace, brilliant going forward. You've got another team who I think are the second best team in Europe defensively. Right? I think maybe third, but between Atletico, Inter, and Arsenal, I think they're set up so well at the back. I'll be honest, I'm jealous. When I watched Arsenal yesterday and against Madrid in the first leg, seeing a team that are actually organised, players in the right position, midfielders that actually came in to help out their centre halves, I was jealous. I thought Kiwior, by the way, that's the guy I want to praise over the 2 legs. Oh, I was told by every Arsenal fan, it's done. We're done. Kiwior's out. Sorry, Gabriel's out. We're done. Thought Kiwior was better than Saliba over the 2 legs, if I'm going to be brutally honest. Hang on. Hooks, let me finish a sentence, man.
Just ask Hooks if you would have started Kiwior in the first leg, please.
Right, I know the answer to this. I was on a stream with all these guys when we were talking about who should play, and it was like, oh, I don't know, like maybe we could do this, and maybe Rice could play there, and maybe we could do 3 at the back, and all this kind of stuff. Right? At the end of the day, I think Arsenal was superb. Do you know? Can I tell you what I hate about the Hooks type of Arsenal fan as opposed to the Dan Potts?
I'm sorry, wait, Sava, just say it right. What you hate about Top Gooners? Top Gooners. Say Top Gooners. That's what you.
You know you're my guy, Hook, right? You know you're my guy. I'll tell you what it is.
I can't believe it.
I'll tell you what it is. If anyone actually opens their ears, I'm sitting here and praising Arsenal, right? And even when I said they've got one of the best 2 defenses in Europe, his face is as though I've said they're shit. Like, I'm sitting here and praising your football club, and it's not enough for you.
No.
Not enough. I don't know what you want me to say.
No.
Gooners are never happy.
I just react.
Never happy. Like last night. No. Let me finish, Hooks. Right, let me finish. Like last night, I turned on Never a Foul. Big up to Kaz and the boys. And all I'm seeing is a gal sitting there going, "I want apologies from him, apologies for him." And I'm sitting there thinking, dude, first of all, take a step, take a breather. If you want to be a big club, take a breather and act like a big club. Quarterfinals done. Move on to the semi. Let's beat that one. Right. All I've said is this is going to be a different proposition against PSG. It's going to be a different proposition because Madrid, for me, have 0 tactics. They literally get the ball to Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. Let's hope that something happens. I don't think they're a great team to watch, right? Arsenal dominated them. Let's see what you do against PSG. Yes, you've already beaten them. This is different. This is over 2 legs. However, I'll end it on saying this. I think the winner is going to come from the other side. That's not me having a pop at Arsenal. I just think Barcelona are the best team in this competition going forward. And I think Inter Milan are the best team in this competition defensively. I think whoever wins that one, for me, will win it. If Arsenal win it, fair play to you. I'm not going to sit here and be an idiot Spurs fan. And if you win it, fair play.
I will be.
You were brilliant over 2 legs. You were absolutely brilliant. And Declan Rice, by the way, I thought the first leg was good, but obviously the goals kind of hyped that up. That performance yesterday from Declan Rice is one of the best midfield performances I've seen in a very, very long time. Right. He's nearly as good as Basuma. Nearly.
I must admit, now big up to you, Sava. I mean, you've done well there, seeing as you're actually an Arsenal fan and not a Spurs fan. Apparently.
Working for the Goonies. No doubt this will be clipped, Dan. No doubt there'll be a video tomorrow.
Oh my God, mate! I watched just quickly off topic. I watched your stream today with the hipster. What's his name? I don't want to get his name wrong. That's the one. Yeah. My God, I've not laughed so much in quite some time. That guy. There's some. I mean, I don't think he's well, in my opinion. But my goodness, there is some serious banter going on. If you haven't seen it, people, go over to Football Heritage TV and just watch it, because it is absolute popcorn box office entertainment. I've got no idea what this guy is actually arguing about. However, it is actually quite unbelievable that people like that exist. And they do actually exist in my fan base as well. It's not just Tottenham. But trust me, I've not seen anyone like him. But
at least your fans are backing a team that are second, right? And in the Champions League semi-final. My fans that are having a go at me, they're backing us when we're 15th in the Premier League, mate.
I can't believe that he was actually sticking up for it. But look, that's another story. I won't steal the thunder. Go watch
you guys
it.
Were excellent. You guys were excellent. You deserved it. I'm thoroughly looking forward to 2 legs of you lot against PSG. What I will say is, last thing, PSG showed the other night against Villa they can be got at.
Yeah,
they leave a lot of space at the back, and they can be got at. So listen, you've definitely got more than a chance of getting to the final. So
yeah, absolutely.
Well done.
Absolutely. Big up to Sophie as well. Appreciate that, Soph. Great content. Football Heritage TV. Save us 12th man. Really appreciate that, Soph. And everybody else in the chat, man. We've got nearly 800 of you in here. Make sure you do me a favor. Hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you're following all of these guys as well. Look, I've got to be asking George this question now. George and I share a lot of content, and we have a lot of banter and stuff. I want you to talk to me about Bukayo Saka, because I don't like using the term world class, because I still don't really understand what that means, right? Nobody can really give me a definition. Yeah. But anybody still doubting that this guy is as good as what people say is, I don't think I've got any ball knowledge anymore. I feel like he's passed pretty much every test now, other than, of course, lifting a trophy, which he kind of did the FA Cup if you want to go down that route. But for me, it kind of weren't really a massive part of it then. But when you look at what he's done, bruv, for club and country, in big moments, I think he is ridiculous. Now, I'm not going to say that I weren't disappointed and was screaming at the TV at Box Park when he went and messed that penalty up, but he did actually make up for it with an unbelievable goal, man. And I think he deserves more kind of credit than what he's getting. I don't know what more he's got to do really now for people to at least respect that he's a top quality player, George.
I feel like he has a lot of respect. I feel like Saka, like you said, through the years and through the consistent performances and putting up good numbers, he's sort of defied a lot of the haters to the fact that everyone respects the game that he offers and respects what he does. I think the thing that he misses from, and one of the things that he suffers from mainly, is for one, that trophy, not leading his team to any trophies or significant trophies of that. So when you're trying to put that world-class title on him, a lot of people allude to that as to why he can't be world-class. For me, I think these 2 games that I've seen have been the first 2 proper big game performances where he's, been really good for Arsenal. There's been other big games, but when I mean big games, talking about Champions League really, or cup finals, and there haven't really been many of those for him to play in. So I'll just need to throw that out there. So this is the first time, obviously, you look at the games last year, he had one decent performance against Bayern Munich, but the other one was poor. These games against Real Madrid, I think that he was really good. The one thing I'll give to Saka, me and Hooks were talking about it earlier, when you talk about like his football IQ, I don't think there is many players that can there's not many players that are smarter than him with the way that he plays. Even when you talk about that finish yesterday, it was a really good finish, but it was a smart finish more than anything. To be able to chip it from over the goalkeeper with the run that he made, everything about the goal was really well put together. But the thing that Saka is missing is just what showed with that penalty, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, players with that proper aura, with that panache, they just got that little bit different. Yeah, they would have pulled that off. Saka's never done a Panenka before. What made him think that he could do a Panenka at the Bernabeu in the quarterfinal? Now, we all love players that have got arrogance. I love an arrogant player. I love a player that's confident and believes in themselves. But for him to do that, thinking that he was going to pull it off, knowing that he's Saka, he was at fault he was literally all over the papers for being the reason why England didn't win the Euros and so on, for his penalties. And then he went and gone that with the penalty. I was thinking, he's asking for the headlines here. Sorry, Carl, go on.
I even hate doing this because I don't like to give Arsenal prop like that. It hurts like deep in my soul. But if we're gonna downplay him, George, based on the penalty miss, then I mean it's a penalty. Like let's call it again. Salah missed a penalty against Real Madrid earlier on in the season. Didn't try and Panenka it, but he still missed it. I don't even think he hit the target, if I'm not mistaken. It's just a penalty miss. I can understand the logic why Saka went for a Panenka. Obviously, didn't pull it off, but I can understand the logic because if Courtois guesses the right way, because of how tall and big he is, like he's probably going to save it. So I can understand why he did. It just obviously didn't work. But the rest, if he had a bad performance after that, then I think you can get onto him. His performance after it was
I wouldn't get onto him for his performance, but I think what Dan's looking for and what Arsenal fans are looking for is now, like, because he got this goal and he led Arsenal. Well, you could say he led Arsenal to the wins, even though I think it was more of a team performance in both of the games. I don't really think that he was like the standout player. I think there was a lot of top performances. A lot of them are now coming to us.
George, I'll tell you what I'm looking for. I'm not
the
looking
recognition.
No, I'm not looking for you to go hands down best thing I've ever seen since sliced bread, best in his position in the world. I don't want you to do that because you're lying, because he ain't. I don't believe he is, right? But I want you to, I don't want, not just you, I just want football fans to go, this guy deserves a lot more respect for what he's done and for what he's doing with Arsenal. That's what I believe.
Doesn't he get a lot of respect though?
He's got a lot more to do in this game. Of course he has. We appreciate that. I don't think people talk about Saka. People like Foden's better, Palmer's better, Bellingham's better, Rodrigo's better, Vinicius, and just list all these players off. But I'm not asking you to tell me who's better than him. I'm just asking fans to see what they think of him, because I don't think that genuinely is what they think. I think they don't want to say, "Oh yeah, he's bloody brilliant, isn't he?" Because we don't want to give Arsenal fans a lot of hype and get them. Because we do get certain fans that will say he's the best thing they've ever seen, which is all obviously nonsense. I just think he gets a little bit of disrespect. I actually do believe Mo Salah does as well, by the way, but that's a completely different comparison in terms of what he's achieved in the game to what Saka's achieved. I just the reason I put them two together is not because they're the same bracket. It's because I look at Salah and I go, wow. And I don't know why other people don't go, wow. And I look at Saka as a youngster and go, wow. And I don't really know why other people don't. That's where I'm getting at.
Are we saying
I think with Arsenal players, Arsenal fans. No, I think Arsenal fans, the problem is with a lot of their players and why your players don't get respect. And even Rice, I feel like Rice, for me, he's the one player I really rate that I feel like has been hugely disrespected as an Arsenal player his whole time. Rice. I think Rice was hugely disrespected as a West Ham player. I feel like he was world class or performing at a world class level for a long time, but it's just because he was West Ham. People had rubbed him out. I think Arsenal fans put their players on such a pedestal that you can only beat the player down and put him down to his actual level, because Arsenal fans put them to be so good. They will prop the player up to be the best thing since sliced bread. And they say, but he is the best youngster out of England. He's the best youngster in the Premier League, and say all these things so when we have an opinion on him, and again, this is just from when we have conversations and panel shows, our opinion changes, because now my opinion is Saka's not as good as he's made out to be, rather than Saka's just a good player. Because when I watch Saka, I do think he's a good player. I would never sit here and say Saka's not good, Saka's rubbish at this, because Saka's not rubbish at anything. But when you compare him to what Arsenal fans prop him up to be, he's not as good as that. And that's where,
do you think he's top 5 in the position?
That's a bullshit argument. That's a BS
argument. It's not.
It's a BS argument.
I could see him waiting.
It's actually a BS
argument out his mouth. What's bullshit, man?
It's actually a BS argument, because what you think about a player shouldn't be dictated by what you see people online say about the player.
But that's what we do panel shows for a reason, and we talk about each other's opinion.
What you think of the player when you watch the player.
But that's my point, though. I just told you that my perception of him will change naturally, because we've been doing panel shows for years. Ever since I started doing football YouTube, Saka's been around. Well, not you, but I have. And on these panel shows, they've made Saka to be, throughout all these years, Saka's this, Saka's that. And now my perception. Okay, so if Saka's this, I don't believe he's this, then I'm going to bring you guys down. You guys then think that I have a bad opinion on Saka, but I don't. My opinion still stands at the same level. I think he's a good winger. I think he's a top 5 right winger. He's not a world class.
You just said that Arsenal Arsenal fans, because I don't think they're all Arsenal fans for the first factor. So
Yeah.
you say, oh, they put Arsenal players up here when they're not up here. But why does that matter to your opinion? Because you should be judging the player based off of what you see, not what you hear other people say.
Hooks, sorry, to just help George here though, slightly. Is this not kind of what Arsenal fans do when they speak about Salah though, because of how the media have started comparing Salah to Henry, for example? So I get where George is coming from. I don't agree with George what he's saying, but I get where he's coming from because people prop certain players up on such a, like, again, I'll be clear, I don't think Salah is Henry's level. Could he get there? I think Salah's the only player in Premier League at the moment who could get to Henry's legacy in the Premier League and maybe pass it. He's the only one, but he's not there yet, in my opinion. Look at the faces. Look, you're doing the faces straight away. But because I've said that, Arsenal fans will downplay what Salah is, as opposed to saying, yeah, Salah's world class. They'll go, yeah, but he's no Henry. In the same way, that's kind of what George is doing now, because loads of Arsenal fans have said for a couple of years now that Saka's world class. George will turn around and go, yeah, he's good. He's just not as good as you guys are saying he is. Is that not the same kind of comparison to an extent?
He's asking a question.
He's asking you.
He's asking you.
He's asking
You
you.
asking that question too.
Switch off as soon as you realize, as soon as I said Henry, as soon as I said Henry, Hook switched off and said he can't be me. Never.
Oh, he was actually asking me that question.
Trying it. He's asking you.
Hook said that, like, how dare you speak to me about Henry?
He checked out and now he's going like, I don't know what you said.
Like, don't get me wrong. I can't speak on behalf of like all fans, but the only, like, to me, I just find that the portion of Liverpool fans that try and put Henry and Salah in the same bracket either never watched Henry or are just trying to force like a battle that doesn't need to be there between Arsenal and Liverpool fans. It's like
forcing a battle. I don't agree with it, but what I say to the Henry thing, I think Salah sits at the table with Henry. I just think Henry sits at a higher level of a chair. So Henry might be head of the table when it comes to Premier League greats. But I think Salah definitely sits at that table with him.
Do you know my thing is, yeah? This is my thing, yeah. When it comes to Henry, like nobody questions that he's at the top. When it comes to Salah, Salah's still trying to win battles versus Hazard. Do you get what I'm saying? He's still trying to win now. I mean, like,
Chelsea fans.
I'm speaking from a fan's perspective because it's not just Chelsea fans. It's like there's even like didn't a Liverpool player come out and put Hazard ahead of Hazard ahead of Salah.
Jones says he prefers Hazard's style of play. Doesn't say he's better though. He also did come out and say that in a team he's picking Salah every day of the week. Let's
because obviously he has to say that to save face. No, he has to save face because he will get absolutely crucified across the globe. He
got crucified regardless, but he still said what he said. It's all right, Hooks, for example. I like watching, but I would never have in my team. Like Charisma was one of my favorite players to watch. Never wanted him at Liverpool though.
I hear that. I do hear that, but I guess the point that I'm making is that there's still battles that Salah's having with man that are also below Henry. So for man to try and put him up against Henry before he's won those battles against the other little man below Henry, to me, it doesn't add up.
That's just why what people do with Saka though. Saka has not. They tried to compare him to the best in the world. But I don't think he's even won battles against the guys that are down here.
And so it's like
so you can't compare. If that's the basis, then Saka can't be compared to Salah then because he still ain't won battles against Foden and Palmer.
He won them battles.
All right, he won the battle against Foden
by what you've said.
So do you see why that? Again, for me, I've got Saka as the second best right winger in the Premier League behind Salah.
But the thing is, like that's why I said, I started by saying I can't speak on behalf of all fans because I'm not a fan that like I don't put Saka above Salah. I only think that they're similar in the sense that they're both like people look at them as workhorses opposed to technical talents. Like they're very similar in that sense. Like they both get disrespected in the same way. Like they both. I can imagine Saka having the exact same, well, not exact, but a similar kind of trajectory to Salah in terms of how consistent he will be season on season on season on season with GA. And then Saka will probably be as consistent as Salah, maybe not hit the same numbers, but be consistent with the numbers, with like them going up and up and up and up each season. But then it will come to the point where people are like, oh, but Saka can't do 100 step overs into an aerial rainbow flick, into a backflip, into a bicycle kick from outside the box and hit it top left bins. So he will never get the same respect as like a Yamal or a Rafinha, or you know what I mean, those type of Rodrigo, those type of players. So like, but I don't know, like I at this point, like it's hard to have conversations about players because I don't think that like we should ever really compare. Personally, I'll only compare online because it's like it's what everybody does online. But I think you should look at the player just as the player. That's why I don't understand why George's opinion on players is being impacted.
I didn't tell you my opinion when it's impacted. I said when we have conversations, this is how you'll hear me talk about Saka because this is what's been said on panels, and I need to bring it back down to earth. So clearly you didn't hear Hooks, and we need to clarify what I did say was that my opinion maintains the same, but what I say on a panel about how I feel about Saka will change depending on what is said about him and what is the narrative that's being made about. 100%.
Can I say, first of all, I do find it funny in this day and age, like everyone needs to compare everyone with everybody else.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when I watch Saka and Salah, the only thing they have in common, the only thing is that they both play on the right-hand side. They're just so different as footballers. Saka, for me, is a bit more technical. Salah, for me, is more lethal. His goal output is sensational. Can Salah get there? Saka get there as he gets older? Sure, why not? Like Saka's a top footballer, but for me, everyone wants to validate every one of their own players, and it starts to become a biased conversation every time people are talking. And I've just had this exact same conversation on Never a Foul, right? Everyone's so biased that, like, if I turn around and go, just for example, if I turn around and go, you know, I think Mbeumo's brilliant. Right? Somebody else in the chat will go, oh, yeah, but you're Spurs. What do you know about brilliant? Like, it's just kind of like, I think it all gets a bit lost in translation. We don't look at them as their own players in different teams. Yeah. What would Saka do if he played all these games for Liverpool? I don't know. He's only 23. I don't know. Is he as good a finisher as Salah? I don't know. We haven't seen it yet. His best goal record, I think, so far is 16 in the Premier League. Will that get better as he gets older? Sure, why not? But I just feel like it's just getting a little bit crazy now on every stream that everyone's so biased to their own players.
I totally agree, bro.
And the thing is, look, you know, but again, it goes back to like what I just said. That I just praised Arsenal and it wasn't enough. I could say I think Saka is a top footballer. I don't throw around. Wolfie knows this. He streams with me more than anyone. I don't throw around the term world class as easily as people do. I don't think Saka is world class. I don't think many people in the world right now are actually world class. If I'm going to be brutally honest, right? Facts. I think Rodri, world class, right? Runs everything for his club, for his country, dictates every game from start to finish. Rodri, world class, right? I look at Yamal. Yamal, for me, that is going to be world class. That is a generational footballer. I know that word gets used a lot, but he is ridiculous. Other than that, right, I'll be honest, I look across the world now, and do you know what? I saw a video from some guy called Dan Potts yesterday online, and you were reeling off, Dan, like the level of footballers from a decade ago compared to now. And now I look at a lot of these and fans just go, world class, world class, world class. Yep. The problem is, if you call too many players world class, one, it loses its meaning, right? If everybody we want to talk about is what he's world class, he's world class, he's world class, right? Two, what does that mean to the individual? For what it means to me might be different to what it means to George and what it means to Cal and so on. So I do find the whole world class debate a little bit silly. Why is everyone so desperate for their players to be acknowledged as world class, right? And the world class now, if we're going to call people like Saka world class, I'm not knocking him. We could say that about many in the Premier League. What would that make the greats that have played before them that were there? What would that make Henry? What would that make Gareth Bale? What would that make Dennis Bergkamp? What would that make Zola? Do you know what I mean? I think we're trying to shoehorn.
What you're on about as well, Sav, right, is when you said about the rivalry thing, because I've had this on other streams before, and some of it's banter, I get it, but I'd start the stream by saying, it's great to see Saka have a good game. Palmer's better, though. And I think, whoa, where's that come from?
Yes.
Like, hang on a minute. And I get this a lot. And it's not doesn't have to be Palmer, by the way. Kudus is better, though. And Kulusevski's better, though. And they just name every winger that's playing in the Premier League. Hudson-Odoi is better, though. And I'm thinking, everyone's better than Saka, then. Is he the benchmark? I mean, what's happening here? Like, this is crazy.
What definition is, right? Like, my definition of what world class might be for a player in that position might be, I'm not saying it is, it might be, well, my definition is Salah's numbers making world class. So if that was my definition, then Saka's not there for me. I'm not saying it is. I'm just playing a hypothetical here, right? Yeah. If my definition is, do I think a player is world class just by watching them and being wowed by them, then Saka might be world class to me and Salah might not. But everyone's so desperate for their own players to be praised. Like, everyone's really insecure about their own football opinion, that it's love my player. Please, like, if I turn around and say, by the way, George, you'll know my opinion on Christian Romero. If I turn around and say, Romero's world class, disclaimer, I do not think he is. If I turn around and say Christian Romero's world class, the first thing I get back from an Arsenal fan is not better than Saliba. It's like, well, I didn't mention
Saliba. Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't mentioning him. Like, why is it?
Yeah.
It's because the point of us online and a lot of people online, and you know what? I do this a lot too, so I'm not gonna sit here and act like I ain't a hypocrite. It's all about point scoring. Sometimes you got a point score on your rivals. That's what it is here. We got a point score on your rivals. You could call it childish, you could call it what it is, but that's what we do as people, innit? Naturally, you just want to be better than someone else, people that you hate.
I do get that, and I'm not expecting everyone to love off Saka, but I just thought, last night proved that he's on a big stage and he was class, man. But look, I want to quickly, because I know Cal hasn't got long, and I've got a couple of bits on Liverpool for him or question marks. I'm going to do some super chats. Chaitanya says, let's go and win this Champions League. Just quickly, one word. Who's going to win the Champions League? George, I'll start with you.
Barca.
Sava.
Barcelona.
Wolfie.
Not Arsenal.
I knew you'd say that. Cal?
Arsenal or Inter.
Wow. And Hooks?
Arsenal.
Surprise.
He looked up like he was really thinking.
George, make sure when you're on a show with him and they get knocked out, he'll say, I never said it. I never said it.
I never actually said you were going to win.
No, what I actually said was,
big up to Cliff. He says it was fantastic to beat Real Madrid. Yeah, they've been subpar all season, but it's still Real Madrid. Slapped them in their gaff, but won't mean F all without a trophy. Also, PSG we beat, and PSG now a different gravy. Yeah, a lot of people are saying it's going to be a different PSG. They did only have a couple of sides. Obviously, Kvaratskhelia and Dembele went there. I don't think Fabian Ruiz played in that game either. I think he was injured. Other than that, it was the same team, though. Canadian Gooner says, just missing Dembele and Kvaratskhelia. Is that Hooks or tie? You get that quite a lot, Hooks, don't you? You're tie of us. He also says Hooks has drank the Cronky Kool-Aid big time. There we go. Olu says, question, is Salah a better Premier League legend than Wayne Rooney? Core. That's a tough one.
That's like a whole hour to itself.
Oh, that could be a 1 hour debate there.
Literally, that's a whole 1 hour debate, man. I would say no, but I
would say 100% yes. Rooney's a twat.
Okay, Rooney's a twat. So Salah.
I'm saying no, not yet.
I'm going to say no as well. Cal, I saw some news today. It's kind of like good news and bad news with Liverpool, isn't it? It's like Trent's going, but Salah's signed. Today, Van Dijk has signed. And not that this is bad news for kind of Liverpool, but I did kind of see this, bro, and thought of you. You know, look, your legendary manager. Looks like he's going to be the next Real Madrid manager, bro.
I didn't get the memo. This would be a talking topic on the show. Whoa, blindsided, bro. Dad, what are we doing there, bro?
I know, bro. Well, listen, I saw it come up. I was with Wolfie earlier, and I thought I'm going to have to ask Cal about this one because I don't know if that's happening, but it sounds like Trent might be getting his old boss back at Real Madrid.
If you can't beat them, join them.
I got no
Talk to that literally.
Do I say no comment? Do I plead? What do I do here?
How upset would you be, Cal? Would you be upset?
Honestly, I'd be devastated if I saw Klopp in the Real Madrid dugout.
Less than a year after leaving you because he's taking time away, right?
That would not. Bro, I'm gonna be real and ill like that. Like, granted, we've moved on. We got Slot now in it, but we moved on the basis that Klopp ain't gonna be managing anymore, innit? Like, you split up with your missus, and like she's like, right, I'm gonna leave the country. You'll never see me again. And like, what? Couple roads down, she's with another man. Like you said,
it's not the other man. She actually upgraded too.
She upgraded. Like, he got a better car, better house, like the big pool. Like, I'm like, raw. Like, you said we just weren't compatible, not that you wanted to upgrade. So that would hurt seeing him there. Obviously, seeing him there with Trent would hurt even more. Again, Dan, I'm kind of shocked that you blindsided me here, bro. Like,
well, listen, I wanted to do that bit on purpose. It is tongue in cheek because, of course, we don't know that's
honestly,
happening. That is the rumor, man.
I think you'd have massive success there.
I think he'd be quality there. I really do,
brother.
Don't you think it would be another ex-Liverpool
ever knocked us out of the Champions League? I am crashing out on a level you've never seen. Like,
Cal, don't you think it would be another ex-Liverpool? I reckon it's going to be Xavi Alonso. That's what makes sense for me. Is Xavi Alonso there in it?
You know what? Savra would have said that. Real Madrid might need a lot more work than we think, though. You know.
That's what I said. And Hooks gave me the eyes. I said that, and Hooks started giving me the what you saying. Eyes.
No. I need to. I was going to clarify earlier.
You didn't actually say that. Well,
you're right.
I let it slide earlier, but we have to go back to it. I only made the face because you said every Arsenal fan you said that we wasn't gonna go through. That's why I went every. Remind
you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Cal, can I ask you two questions?
They need a lot of work. They need. Do you know what? I know this sounds mental, but Real Madrid, whenever I've watched them this season in the league as well, I think they stink. If I'm honest, the way they win games is big guns. They've got a lot of big guns that get them out of bad situations. So they go 1-0 down to like Getafe, and then Mbappe does something amazing. But they don't look coached. They don't midfield. Their midfield looks completely gone from the days of Kroos, Modric, and Casemiro. It looks gone. And dare I say it, I think Jude Bellingham has got to be the most overrated footballer ever talked about in this country. He is, every game I watch for England, for Madrid, I just don't notice him. Unless he's having a shot, I don't notice him. Sorry, I got sidetracked. But I think they need a lot of work, Cal. You're right.
We were talking about that today with LB, actually. I agree with you, Sav. In the last 2 games, I don't really know what he's done. But sorry, Wolfie, go on. You had a question for Cal. Go on.
Yeah, I got 2 questions, Cal. Do you think this Madrid knock may have come a year ago for Klopp, and this is all this tired thing? We know that knock sounds different. And the second question is: the ink dry on Van Dijk and Salah's contract? Because now he's at Real Madrid, bro. Trent, Van Dijk, Salah, is the ink dry?
Imagine that. Imagine if that happens. Oh God. They're horrible questions, Cal, aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
You know what makes it even worse? Wolfie, even if it's not this year, they done 2-year contracts for a reason. They all got mad at Trent for not giving them the money. So what? Salah and Vat in a year's time, go join Klopp, give you a little bit of money. I don't know. Maybe it's a plan. Maybe it was all,
I'm just saying, do you remember them ink erasers at school? Them ones with the thing, you know what I'm saying? Like,
if you had a bit of money, you get the white one, the one that you literally
the blue on the other side, yeah, double-sided one, yeah, or a bit of Tipex. You never know, Cal. You never know. But I just wondered, did Klopp mastermind this move, saying he was tired a year ago because the knock came, that loud knock?
Wolfie, I can't comment on that because I have no information, unfortunately.
You're happy though, Cal, that Van Dijk and Salah are staying, bro.
Oh
That
yeah,
must
100%.
be great
Yeah,
news for you, man.
100%.
Is that going to affect what you do in the summer, though? Real talk. I mean, 400k a week. I'm hearing, and that's a lot of money, isn't it, for those two?
It shouldn't. We haven't spent for 3 windows, so it shouldn't. But we can, like, until I see it. Remember, I said I weren't going to speak on Salah and Virgil until I saw it happen. Now we can pop throughout the party poppers and all that, pop the champagne. Until I see meaningful players coming in the summer, I can't get ahead of myself because we've been here before. We've been there before. So, in the same way, I'm not crashing out on Trent because Trent's news hasn't been, it's not been made official. Until it's made official, I can't crash out on someone about it. So,
do you also think
Go on, George. Go on, George.
No, I was just going to say, do you also think that this league win is going to make the summer even worse? And that fact that it's going to paper over a lot of the cracks in your team, and you've got Van Dijk and Salah staying. It's like any problems we do have, but from an FSG point of view, you won the league with this team. Why can't you go do it again next year?
Firstly, George, why are you smirking while you ask that question? That's what I really want to know. and second of all, yes, that is my fear. That is genuinely my fear, that we sit there and we go, yeah, well, Virgil and Salah just signed new contracts. Trent's going potentially, but Conor Bradley's shown that he's got very good potential. So we just go again. That is my worry because we've seen this before and we've done this before. I think this has to be a summer of high turnover. It really does, and that's players out and in. It has to be a summer of high turnover. Look, FSG have proved me wrong because I didn't think Salah and Virgil would get new contracts given their age and the money demands. They've got that over the line. I hold my hands up. I was wrong. Thank you, FSG, for delivering that. Even though, for me, it's kind of a no-brainer, but thank you regardless. Please take this club to another level now. We've won the league in Slot's first season. Give him the backing, give him the finances, give him the players, and let's go and build somewhat of a dynasty now, because I do think we could do that. And if we drop the ball like we did the last time, I don't know if there's any coming back for FSG.
What's a good summer then, Cal? Like, what does that look like to you in terms? You don't have to give me like players. You can just give me positions like that you're expecting to strengthen in the summer. So
for me, I think we need a new left back. If Trent stays, we're all right back. If he goes, obviously a right back. Alaina would be nice, Wolfie. Centre midfield. I need a destroyer in the midfield. And I'll be honest, I think we need a new 10. I love Szoboszlai, but I don't think he gives you enough. Wow, Sava.
He started already.
Oh wow.
It suits him. It suits him.
It does.
Well,
looks nice.
I don't think it suits him. I think it looks crap, but that's just my humble opinion. Those four, and I think we need two new attackers at least as well. So for me, I think we need 5 or 6 players, but I don't see a world where we do that.
No, similar to Arsenal, if I'm honest. I think we need 5 or 6, and I think we'll probably get three that come in. Look, I've got to be honest. I think Liverpool, are going to be one of the most interesting summers and seasons actually, because it's slots.
I got one shout, Dan. I think whoever gets the summer whoever does better in the summer between Arsenal and Liverpool will win the league next season, in my opinion. I think Man City, I may be completely wrong here. I think Man City have got a lot of work to do to get back to being Premier League champions.
I actually agree. I think they will be back, but I don't know if it will be next season.
I don't think it'll be next
season. I actually think, wild shout, that no one else seems to have put any respect when I say it. I think Newcastle can go for a title next season. I really do. I think they could. I don't think they'll win it, but I do think they could be in a title next season, challenging. I think that with the right recruitment and the players they keep, I think they've got such a good 11, man. And I think if they got sort of 5 or 6 in to make that squad sort of 16, 17, I think they've got a great chance, man. I really do. Really do.
And if they finish second or third, Isak ain't going anywhere.
I agree.
I don't think anyone can afford him anyway, Cal. I don't know who can afford him.
No, I think he's unobtainable, isn't he?
Yeah, I can't see. It's going to be 150 plus. It's going to be huge, and I don't know who across Europe's got that money.
I agree. PSG, Cal, I know you got to shoot, bruv.
Yeah, big up, brothers. Big
Legend,
up.
Man. Legend.
Thank you, people. Subscribe to everyone's channels. Big up yourself, guys.
Love, Carl. Take care, man. Look, let's talk Tottenham, shall we? It's
good.
always delightful when we talk Tottenham with Sava and George. But you have got a massive game tonight, and it is massive, to be fair.
Just for you asking about it, Pot, sorry. 230 likes with nearly 1,000 in. What's the chat doing?
People. That's magic. There is almost 1,000 people in here, and we are at, yeah, you're right, 230 likes. That's terrible. Hit the like and subscribe button, please. At least. Come on. Easily. I think we can easily get to 400. Easily get to 400. Hit the likes. Mods, do your job. Got some new mods in the house now. Big up to all of you in the chat. Big up to all you new mods as well. Legends. Let's get the likes and the subscribes up, people. Let's make sure that we're putting all of these guys' links into the chat as well, man. We've got Football Heritage TV, Forest Fan TV, Halftime Hooks, and Durag Diaries. You see all of their social media handles there. So please make sure that we do that. Sava, let's start with you. I think this is massive for you tonight, bruv. A bit like us, your kind of league is like, oh, dear me. I mean, at least we're kind of half near the top. You guys are in a bit of trouble with the league, right? But when you look at the Europa League, if you did win that, pull off a madness, that could be an unbelievable season for Spurs. Now, I know it's unlikely that you'll go all the way, and not many people are tipping you to do it with the way you're playing. Yeah. But Frankfurt, good side, but beatable. What are you saying?
Yeah, good side, beatable. Yeah. Do you know what? I must be a really bad fan because I'm just not as excited as I should be for a European quarterfinal second leg. I think it's been that bad this year, and all my focus is on Ange Postecoglou leaving the football club. Having said that, you're right. I think Frankfurt are a good team. I don't think we shouldn't be going there worried, but their atmosphere is horrible for the away team. Their atmosphere, their stadium is not a nice place to go. But I just worry at this stage. Are we going to see a team tonight who come out and show us that they actually still play for the manager? Or are we going to see what we've seen for the last 3 months where they do not play for this manager? That's what I don't know. I'm sure George will have his say on that in a second. But for me, I think what I've seen the last few games, they're not playing for him. The problem is this game's shrouded, Dan, in not just the game, but you've got like talks of a mole within the camp. You've got talks that he's fallen out with Romero and Maddison and Son, who are his 3 captains. Sonny isn't going because he's got a foot injury, but isn't even on the plane. That's your captain. Surely he should be on the plane, in the dressing room. And it don't know. It all feels like it's gearing up towards a really anticlimactic end to this European campaign, which hasn't been good, by the way. It has in terms of progression, but in terms of who we've played, I think that the highest ranked team we've played might be Ferencvaros or Alkmaar or something like. So I don't know. Win-win for a fan like me tonight. Win, my team's in the semi-finals. Lose, and hopefully it's the last I ever have to see of Ange Postecoglou in a dugout. So I don't know. Maybe I'm a shit fan. I just can't. I'm not. I don't know. Do you know? I don't know if George.
You're not a shit fan.
No, do you know what it is? Yeah, no, I do get what you mean, Sam. Like, I'll be honest. Like, for this game, because sort of like you said, off the back of our recent performances, but not just the recent ones. Probably since the last cup games that we played, the Carabao Cup semi-final, and the FA Cup 5th round. Since those games, I've pretty much been checked out of Spurs, just knowing that we're not going to do anything this season. That, for me, was the realization that the players are no longer playing for the manager. The system is completely rubbish, and he doesn't have a clue of what he needs to get done. Like you said there, I would go as far as saying it's a win-win, but I think for me, I just want Spurs to win. My main focus is making Spurs win. But obviously, like you said there, if we don't win, I would 100% expect him to be sacked as soon as he gets in that dressing room. Afterwards, he gets a text, whatever he gets. I don't really care how he gets sacked.
Leave him in Germany.
Leave him in Germany. He doesn't even make it home into that, like, with the players. Shouldn't even, like, we know how Martin Jol, a manager that was loved by Spurs, got sacked at half time. There's no way that Ange Postecoglou should get any better treatment than that. So yeah, no matter how this goes, where this game goes, we need something big to happen on Friday, sorry. But I'll be honest, my confidence for the game is very low. Spurs' record in away European legs, especially second legs at that, is dreadful. It's absolutely dreadful. It's very rare in the Europa League that we go away from home and we get wins. And especially in a game where you need a win, I'm not expecting Spurs to turn up. When you said there that the players aren't playing for the manager, the biggest and most confusing thing to me is, Savan, it's like the club have got the players doing up a PR run every press conference recently. Yeah. The players are coming out with, oh, we back the manager. We love the way the manager plays. We want to play his style of football. Like, just come out and, like, you ain't got to do all of that. No one even cares about all of that. Like, we just want us to win, but they feel the need to do this PR run for Ange. And
it's not just a PR. Like when you know they'll all come out and say they're playing for him, but look at Romero's body language after the defeat to Wolves. You know, he was captain on the day.
Straight down the tunnel.
Straight down the tunnel. You've got James Maddison and Son. I don't know if you boys saw this. They were all, when they got subbed off against, I think it was Alkmaar in the first leg, and Maddison mouthed to Son. It's the same thing every game. I don't know. It just feels, George, to me, it just feels like this is listen, great, go and win the game, get to the semis. But I just feel like all we're doing at the moment is we've got a body on the operating table, and all we're doing at the moment is going, yeah, I know he needs surgery, but you know what? We'll just put a plaster over it. That's how I see it with Tottenham at the moment.
It feels like a poor take, boys. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm not here. It feels like a bit of a poor take. If I'm being honest. I'll tell you how this whole I don't feel up for it for a quarter final of the Europa League when you've won nothing since 2008.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Let me just land my point. I just want to explain. George, I've said one sentence.
Yeah, I get you said one thing, and I'm going to cry about it because, again, as a Forest fan, you don't get to many quarterfinals, semi-finals, or finals. So getting to a quarterfinal,
we're already in the semi-final, bro.
It's a massive gay out. A quarterfinal for me, I've seen many quarterfinals for my club. I'm not going to make a quarterfinal to be a massive day out because it's not. A quarterfinal is just a stop on the road.
Okay, you haven't let me get past sentence number one, bro, and you're already crying about that line. What does a quarterfinal lead to? A semi-final. What does a semi-final lead to? A final. What does a final lead to? A trophy. What are you lacking at Spurs? Trophies. Now, let me land my actual point, okay? Because as everyone probably knows, I wanted Cooper out from early on. But there was a stage in the first season where I had to say, even though I want him out, the most important thing was Forest surviving on the first season we came back. And I literally had a video saying, I'll stop my analysis on Cooper, what he's doing wrong, what he's doing right, because the focus needs to be to the team to survive. Your focus is now, forget Ange. Spurs is bigger than Ange. It's not bigger than many other things, but it's bigger than Ange. Hold on. You getting a trophy is more important than Ange in and Ange out because, wait, that Ange in and out, he can still go even if he wins the trophy. There's probably enough of a movement for him to go because you've seen what happened when Man U won Man U won the FA Cup last season and they kept Ten Hag on. Okay, that everyone saw that as a mistake. So him winning the trophy does not necessitate that he will stay. Therefore, for me, and I promise you, I'm not policing how you should or shouldn't react. I'm just saying my reaction to what you've said is very disappointing because the club winning that trophy should excite you.
Let me tell you why. So first of all, if I say something for me and George, if you disagree, I'm sure you'll tell me. Neither George or I said we didn't want to win the trophy, right? Mm-hmm. But what we said is because of everything that's been happening at the club at the moment, because we are losing, it feels like week in, week out at the moment, right? Because the performances are so bad, it's really, really difficult to be like, oh, Spurs away, Europe. It's because everything's bad at the moment at the football club, Wolfie. None of us said we didn't want to win it. No one said we wanted to lose tonight. But what we're saying is it's really difficult to wake up and go, Spurs are playing at 8. Because every game is a carbon copy of the game before. Every game is the same. So, yes, we want to win trophies. You didn't hear either of us say otherwise.
I didn't say about the trophies. I said about being up for a chance to win the trophy.
I get what you mean, yeah.
But who are you talking to? I've been in League One. I've been in relegation battles. I've been in 2 in the last year. I still have to get up and be excited about my team. What?
You can't switch it on and off. Listen, as we get to game time, I'm probably going to be a bit more, now it's happening and the team's out. But right now, as I sit here, this isn't like when when Poch got us to a semi-final of the Champions League, everyone in the fan base is buzzing. The team's playing well. We're beating teams. We've got good players. We trust the manager. Everyone's like, now it's like, yeah, go and win the game. But there's a lot of people that are struggling to get excited because of how Wolfie, I keep telling you this. This is the worst I've ever seen us. You keep saying it isn't. This is the worst I've ever seen us.
It doesn't matter if it's the worst you've seen or not, right? You almost need to separate the league from the Europa side of it, right? And be excited about that.
Europa League as well, Wolfie.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. How many times have you seen a team win a trophy, stinking it out through?
You know what you're missing though, Wolfie? What you're missing is that, like, last week, many of us, like myself, you would have seen, I came on this show and I had a bit of confidence. I was like, yeah, do you know what? Quarter-final day. I've done exactly what you said. I put everything to the side. I said, I don't care about Ange and Ange. I put it to the side and I said, oh, Europa League quarter-final today. I'm happy. White Hart Lane. I want everyone to have good energy. I'm going to bring the good energy. And
I agree with that attitude.
I've done all of that. And guess what? Spurs put in another shit performance. So, and then wait for it, Wolfie. We lost on the weekend against Wolves. So since that day, Spurs have ultimately got again worse, proved me to look like an idiot again. So now I'm coming out and I'm doing this game. I'm like, do you know what? Trying to be positive, trying to be happy. But no, this isn't how I actually feel. I don't feel happy. I don't feel good about it.
I'm not telling you to feel happy and happy clap it, George. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying...
But there's only so much you can do when your club's not in a good place. If you don't feel that way, we're not going to.
This sounds entitled from a fan base that hasn't had entitlement in recent times.
Because
it really is.
Relegation.
This is your best chance to win a trophy.
No one said it isn't.
Okay, and realistically, you could win this. Realistically, you could win this trophy, right?
No one said that. No one said the opposite, Wolfie.
Okay, so I would say, if I was in your position, I would be separating the league from the trophy, from the Europa, and at least be getting up for the Europa League. Even if you're stinking the performances out, it doesn't matter. I've seen plenty of teams win a World Cup who stunk it through the group stages, limped to the final, and what have you. It doesn't matter how you win it. History remembers the winner. I'm not saying. I said that's how I would feel.
I know, but the thing is, this is almost like before you came on, and you know when I said people that people can't seem to have a conversation without they have to go to, like, this isn't about whether your team was in a relegation battle and you had to get up for it. This is, for some Spurs fans, this has been such a bad season that, like George said last week, I said Spurs will beat Frankfurt 2-1. I said, the players are going to come out. They're going to be up for it. We're going to go straight at them, and they're going to revive our season. Spurs came out for 20 minutes and looked like they were on holiday, right? And it was like, if they're not up for it, right? If they're not up for it, how can we get up for it? The stadium was quiet. The team weren't up for it. We've then gone since then to Wolverhampton Wanderers and been absolutely battered, and the players looked dreadful. I'm not saying I don't want to win tonight. No one said that. But the excitement that when you wake up and your team are playing, Ange has killed that for me, Wolfie. I've told you, he has killed that excitement because I know what I'm going to see tonight. Even if we get through by hook or crook, I know what I'm going to see from this manager and the team tonight. It's hard to get up for that. It's really difficult.
I get that, but I'm telling you from my position. When I was watching Forest low blocking under Cooper, losing 3 out of 4, drawing 1 and whatever, that's a worse watch than what you have to watch. Trust me. And that has more on the line in terms of relegation. Yeah, I'm talking about relativity here, right? Yeah. I am saying to you, surely, if I was in your position now, stinking out in the league, but somehow scumbag my way to a quarter final, right? At least I'm thinking, you know what? I am up for this segment of this season. That's what I'm saying. But for you to sit there and say, I'm not even that up for it, I find it, for me,
we're just different fans. We're just different. And also, I feel like what you're forgetting is that you as a Forest fan have been through, like I said, you're used to relegation battles. You've been through hell.
Yeah, but we still had to stick by it, George. We had to stick by it.
And we never said we're not sticking by it. But respectfully, at the same time, we've never been down.
We still had to get up for each next game thinking maybe this was the game.
Wolfie, like Saba has said, this is the worst we've seen our club This is the worst. So when you got to the place and you saw your club at the worst, you wouldn't have been the same as how you're acting now, and you wouldn't have been the same as how you're acting.
Man, when I was there in the stands paying freaking nearly 30 quid to watch Forest against Grimsby and all that stuff, right?
Have you seen us play? Have you watched Tottenham play?
Yes, of course I've watched you play.
Right, okay. If you've watched us play, every game is rinse and repeat. At the moment, every game we start, we're conceding early. The players don't seem up for it. The media are having a field day with it. Our manager's giving stupid sound bites where he's saying things like, I've lost. The bloody manager, Wolfie, said the other day, I'm falling out of love with football, right? He's talking about moles. The players are coming out and saying, VAR Mickey van der Ven yesterday, and it was asked why he's not playing. You asked the manager. Sonny's not on the plane. All is not good at Spurs. So it's very difficult to have the same oomph going into it. Now, it's 5:20. When I start my live watch along at 6:30, right? I might get a bit more into it when I see the team come out. But at the moment, Wolfie, what we're seeing is so bad. Like, so bad. The club is rotten from top to bottom right now. It's difficult to wake up and be like, it's not like Arsenal going to the Bernabeu Champions League, having just won the first leg 3-0. And their tails, I bet you these two yesterday woke up, tail between their legs. How exciting. We're going to Frankfurt when we've been crap away all season. We've got a horrendous away record, right? The players aren't playing for him. Now, can we go there and scumbag a win? Sure. This isn't the greatest team we've played. But you can't say to fans that this is the wrong attitude. It's difficult. I
didn't say it's the wrong attitude. I said it's the attitude I wouldn't agree with from my stance.
But it's difficult, Wolfie. I can't wake up feeling something that isn't there at the moment. This manager.
Okay, but if you look at Man U,
fall out of love with the club.
If you look at Man U, again, they were stinking it out last season. I didn't really see Man U fans when it came to, say, the semi-final of the FA Cup or the quarterfinal saying, not that up for it today. I don't know. I just feel you're not separating the politics from the football. That's all I'm saying here, right? Is the politics deal with them. No, I'm just saying politics deal with them off the field. Once it's on the field, there has to be that inner self in you and the fan that's like, yeah, you know what? Today might be the day. Because that's what I had.
Shouldn't that be in the
I was watching the crap with Cooper, right? And I'm like, today might be the day. That will get me through. I know we're going to play low block. I know we're going to stink it out, but we might. Sure. And it's the might bit that I'm talking about, that hope that every fan surely innately has within them. That's what attracts you back.
But Wolfie, the problem is over years and years and years and years and years, and especially this year, slowly, game by game, it gets chipped out of you. The might gets chipped out of you. We can win this game. I'm not saying we can't, but I think you're acting like this is a final. You've got to remember, right? As much as Spurs get bantered for not winning many trophies, if you actually look in the last 2 decades, we've been to multiple semis and finals. Right. So this isn't, you've got to remember, this isn't a new experience for us going to a quarterfinal of a trophy. We've been here many, many times.
He's not in a Forest, he doesn't really.
No, I know that, but
I'm sitting in a semi. Well, hang on.
Don't worry about all that Forest versus thing. At the end of the day, you're making out like that Spurs should be grateful we're in a quarterfinal, right? We've been in many quarterfinals, semi-finals, and finals. For me, I'm going to get excited when I get to semis and finals. At the moment, get through, I'll start believing. But at the moment, the performance I saw last week, the performances I've been seeing in Europe all year. George, name me a good European performance we've put in this year.
Maybe Karabakh.
That's not the point. Look, as much as we bantered the as much as we bantered the Arsenal fans, right, about Madrid, Hooks didn't turn around and say, I got Real, you know. I got Real.
Wolfie,
this is what their team with no striker, with Saka at the time injured,
we've been
what
to
have
the
you, right?
semi-final this season where all of us done this same thing. When we versed Liverpool in the Carabao Cup semi-final, we all had a lot of hope. We all knew going to Anfield was the impossible, getting a win at Anfield. But many Spurs fans, including myself and Sava, was up for the game and said, you know what? It's semi-final day today. We've got a lead. We can get the job done. Did any of us actually think that our team was better than Liverpool's? No. Did we know that Liverpool were way better than us? Yes. Playing at Anfield? Yes.
I don't know. Do you get the point I'm making?
Because it's a semi-final. And I get what you mean, but I just don't think it applies for this game being a quarterfinal.
I just think you guys are coming across a bit too entitled. Hooks, do you get the point I'm making here with them? It's like,
entitled how? Surely this is the opposite.
That is my question. Entitled how? Exactly.
I don't.
Entitled would be, sorry, Hooks, 1 second. I'm sorry, I can't have this, right? Entitled would surely be me sitting here going, I'm not worried about this. This is only Frankfurt. We're going to go.
No,
through.
entitled is exactly what you said, where you're like, maybe once we get to the semi and final, I'll start to be a bit more excited. That's entitled.
Because Wolfie, I don't believe this is the problem, Wolfie. It's not entitled. It's the opposite to entitled. I don't believe in this manager and what he's doing. I don't believe in this group of players wanting to play for this manager. Wolfie, I can't explain to people that haven't seen it week in, week out. This is so soul destroying watching how we play football, watching the players not caring, watching the manager stands on the sidelines like this. So it's the fans. We've got to do everything. Just look, you can't call us entitled. We're Spurs are so far from entitled. What's the opposite to entitled? We're that
Spurs.
But do you know what I mean? Like you can't turn around and say just because we're in a quarterfinal that the attitude. It might hit me.
I'm saying be up. All I'm saying is be up for it. For me, the entitlement goes, I'll get up for it in the semi and the final. That's what I'm saying. The entitlement is based on nothing.
You're doing what you normally do.
I mean, you can say I'm doing what I'm normally doing. I ain't. I'm literally kind of assessing what you've been saying.
What they should be up for. You can't.
I didn't tell you so. Again, I put it all relative to how I would feel on it. And then looking at what Spurs have achieved, I think the quarterfinals in the Europa, if I was a Spurs fan, I think that's not too bad for the crap I've had to watch if I was a Spurs fan. That's all I'm saying.
Do you know what we've had to? We're making it sound like this is an achievement to get to the quarterfinals of the Europa League.
I have not said it's an achievement. I have said it's something you should be up for.
No, but do you know this is bare minimum though, Wolfie? You're telling us to be up for the bare minimum, bro. Like I don't get it.
Yeah, because
the level of your club is Europa League quarterfinals big. Europa League quarterfinals not big to me. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you know it's not a big game. It's as I said, it's just a step on the journey to the final. I expect my club every season I go in Europa League to be in a semi-final or final of Europa League. That's an expectation.
So should Arsenal fans have not been up in the group stages of the Champions League? Because that's
Champions League is different. Champions League is different.
Okay.
You will know when you get there. You will know when you get there.
You'll know when you win it.
When you hear that music, it will hit a little bit different.
Yeah. When you win it, it hits different.
We were the favourites.
Shame you never saw it.
Right? We were the favourites for this tournament, right? When you look at the teams we've played, with no disrespect to those teams, and you look at how much money the Spurs make and what we pay on players, but this should be as George said, this should be a bare minimum. Spurs to date so far, we haven't beaten anybody to get here. Every decent team we've played, we've not beaten in the Europa League. We've played Rangers, Roma, Galatasaray, Frankfurt. We can't beat any of them. We haven't beaten any of them in a game.
That won't matter if you win it. It doesn't matter if you win it.
I didn't say it did. That's not my point. So it's very difficult, Wolfie, to turn around and just suddenly say, I'm well up for this. The club is down. Everything's down. The players aren't playing well. The manager's giving sound bites. I don't care if the fans hate me. I don't care about losing my job. But yet, me as a fan, I'm meant to go, everyone at Spurs sings up for
all
this.
I'm saying, but to me, looking at what you're saying, I think he's so rent-free in your head that he's almost blocking out for you the memory, Ange, that like you're so fixated that he needs to go. That it's almost like the dark side, man. You're going from Anakin and all this to Darth Vader with it. It's just a case of you got to start remembering the feeling of what it's like to enjoy the hope of potentially winning something.
I've got eyes, Wolfie. I can't enjoy what this Tottenham team. There is zero.
I said enjoy the hope. Enjoy the hope.
I think like.
I feel like I'm getting lectured by. I feel like I'm getting lectured by a Liverpool fan who's won it all. Like I feel like I don't know what's happening here. We're doing
no, it doesn't. No, I'll be honest. For For me, it sounds like an Nottingham Forest fan because he's literally talking about, hope. You've become the hope minister because clearly that is all you've ever lived off of is hope. I hope that
so
we
you're
can
saying Spurs have never gone into a game that you thought they would lose, but you went in with hope.
Your expectation as a football club for most of your time being a football fan has been the literal bare minimum of surviving the Premier League. You think that, being in a quarterfinal of Europa League as Spurs is a big day out. You should hope that you've got.
When did I say a big day out?
Well, what you
because what I'm saying is about the trophy at the end of your long road there.
Forest Hippie. Yeah, in the chat, I get what Forest Hippie. That's what we're calling you now. Yeah, the Forest.
No, I think what he's trying to get across here is like, there's politics in football and the this and the that you don't like about your club and yada yada yada. But there's also the element that this is the biggest game left of your season. Like,
in their defense, though, I don't like to. Sorry to cut you. I don't like to stick up for Tottenham fans, but I think what Sava and George are saying is, I'm really not looking forward to watching Tottenham at the moment. Right? I don't think they've said, hopefully we get dumped out of this, then he can go, and then we just let. And let's correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think both of you want to lose this game and go out of it. I want think you want to win the Europa League.
Right? I'm just not looking forward to it. We're so Dan, it is so hard to watch us at the moment. Listen, if they come out, I'll say if they come out tonight, put on a great performance, win 3-0, I'll come back on whenever you're next live and I'll say, do you know what? I wasn't expecting that. That's real. Problem is, every single time I have this conversation with someone, right? Every single time I allow myself this season to go, do you know what? We're winning tonight. Spurs, everyone in my chat always says, Sava, why are you allowing yourself? And I'm like, no, tonight we're going to, Spurs. Same Spurs.
That's the Anakin in you, man. He's fighting back against Darth Vader. Let him into the light, bro.
I don't know what all this means. I'm not a geek. I don't know what all you just said. I don't know what that means. Talk football. I don't know what that means. Right? So I'm talking. It's not about the dog. Wolfie, as Jordan and I told you, I'm 42 years of age, Wolfie, and this is the worst I've ever seen us. And this isn't just on the pitch. Everything at the moment stinks at Tottenham. Director of football, the medical team are getting bashed. We've got a new CEO that's from Arsenal. People don't like that. You've got Paratici coming back. Ange is saying he don't want to be here in as many words. You've got Romero having digs at the medical team, and apparently he don't want to sign a contract. We've got youth players like Mikey Moore who apparently want to leave because he's not getting game time. The fans are arguing. It's very difficult to just suddenly go, stop all of that. We've got a massive game. It doesn't work. Emotions don't work like that.
All right, let me ask you one more question then. Are you beating us on Monday?
No. That was what I was going to ask.
How about this, Wolfie? We don't care. We're not playing for anything in the league. We don't care, bro.
Yes, no. Are you beating us? Are you beating us?
I don't think we are. I can't see us beating anyone else in the league.
I don't care for it. I don't.
No, I want a yes, no. Are you beating us on Monday?
In the Premier League at this point, I've said if we're finishing outside the top 10, it's all the same thing. So I don't care.
Wolfie, you'll get your answer at 10 a.m. tomorrow. It's Friday, and he has to make a
prediction. Sure.
You know what?
I don't care. I don't care.
It's Good Friday. It's bank holiday, so we're having it off, innit? It's bank holiday, so.
Yeah, it's actually
going to be a bloody good Friday.
Friday tomorrow.
I know that much.
Oh, what do you want to
Friday ever?
Do you want to do it?
No, that was my next question. Apart from the Forest one, which clearly you're not too bothered by. Obviously, Wolfie is. If he does lose tonight, is he get sacked in the tunnel, Sava?
Yes.
I don't think that's going to happen because it's in Germany. I think if it was at White Hart Lane, I think yes. I also feel that at the moment they probably will let him see out the last 6 games. But if he loses tonight, he has to be sacked. There's no thread of hope keeping him in because at the moment, this crappy European run where we've beaten nobody, absolutely nobody of note, isn't enough to keep a manager. It can't be.
It also makes absolute no sense to keep a manager in after losing this game because at this point, he's basically. All right, Wolfie. He's basically working his notice period. So at this point, if you lose after this game and you've got 6 games to go, what is he going to do in these 6 games? What's it going to do for the club? What is the morale going to do for the players having a guy around like him who pretty much knows his job is done and you're going to have him telling players to go out every week and tell them they've got to win games.
Because it probably pushes him into the next year of his contract or something, and the payout's a little bit less. That Levy will be thinking of these things, right? I just look. I think the turnaround time between this game and the Forest game, if you lose it, is too short for a sacking, or at least I want to believe that, unless you're going to put Mason in charge. Mason. Yeah, I get that, but I also think when a manager gets sacked, usually if you're either doing it because you have your replacement in line. There's no point in bringing the actual replacement in. So this is a caretaker manager. Is Mason going to do anything different to Ange?
Yes, he bloody will.
I'm talking about in terms of what you can achieve. If we assume you went out, if you go up a place or down a place in the league, nothing changes. I just think Levy will do this on a financial decision and screw what the fans think.
Yeah, but Daniel Levy's a law unto himself. The thing is, if we get knocked out, and by the way, let me caveat this: I don't think him being sacked should be all based on beating Frankfurt. I think it's crazy that he's still here. We've lost 21 games of football all season. It's just absolutely mental that people are going, like, I know what will happen. If Spurs win tonight, I get people going, see, you were wrong about Ange. Wrong about
Apologize.
what? Like, we've lost 21 games of football this season, and this is our worst ever in 143 years. This is our worst ever points per game ratio in a Premier League season. In a league season. It's utterly diabolical. So for me, I'm with George on this. What I would do is if he loses this game tonight, then Levy's got you're out of everything. We're 15th in the league. I'd let Mason have it. And Mason's record, by the way, when he's actually done it, isn't dreadful. It really isn't. And I think he'd stop the inverted stuff, see out the last 6 games, and then we can. I don't care if we lost the last 6 games after this. It doesn't mean anything. There's nothing on it. We're not getting relegated. We're not going to fly up the table. We're that bad. We are that bad at the moment.
Who do you want, Sava, as the next boss? Who would you take?
I'll take Dan. I'll take you. I don't care. I'm at the stage where I'm looking at managers I hate and thinking, I'd take you. I'm looking at managers like Southgate and going, I wish I had you. Tongue in cheek, of course, but I hate this manager with a passion. He's destroyed my club. He's destroyed our club. Real talk, Silva, Glasner, Holness of Stuttgart. I'd take Xavi, Hernandez, Terzic. Mate, anyone with a brain, anyone that wants to respect the fans, anyone that wants to put a team out that actually tries to defend.
What about the Frankfurt guy, Dino Topmiller?
I'll take Dino Topmiller.
Yeah.
Mate, think of a League 2 manager. If you can think of one, I'll take him. Whoever you're thinking of.
Colchester. There you go. The Cali brothers. Take them from Colchester.
Neil Warnock.
Over Ange all day long.
All right, I've got a question. Yeah, I've got a question. So, sorry, I just have to have a question. And the only reason I'm asking this question is because the individual I want to ask this question has been dodging me. Yeah. So, Wolfie, enough of this Tottenham talk. Yeah.
When have I dodged you?
Right.
No. If you look at group chat, you will see. So, enough of this Tottenham talk. Yeah, bro. In January, you told me you're finishing above me, and I remember that out of the top 5. But since then, you haven't gone above me once, and you've actually been usurped by Newcastle. What's happening, bro?
The season's not over.
Oh, it's not over, yeah? Okay.
Yeah. But then again, in January, you told me you were going to win the league.
Love George.
Hey.
What happened?
Hey, I might win the Champions League. How about that?
Okay, no, but what, you're going to ignore what you said in January? You're bringing January up, bro. In February, you told me you were going past Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, even though you were 2-0 down. What happened to that?
In February, you told me that you was finishing above me and I was going to fall out of top 5.
Yeah, but you know, what I've said can still happen. What you said can't happen. Do you get that? What I've said, if you want to hold it into account, you can do it at the end of the season. But your receipts have cashed in now. So what happened from what you said about winning the league in January? And what happened when you were 2-0 down?
I'm just going to throw it out there. even though I don't believe we're gonna do it, it's not mathematically impossible. So you can't call me out on it yet.
Okay, can I call you out on the Newcastle one?
Yeah, the Newcastle one's fine.
Yeah, that's what happened.
But we lost.
All right, so there you go then.
But you
So
don't
why are you
support
calling?
Newcastle.
Wait, why are you trying to cash
You
in
don't support
receipts?
You don't support Newcastle.
Wait. No, I'm going about what you said.
No, but
you
don't
said
support Newcastle.
at half time in that match when you were 2-0 down, you came out with your chest and your freaking TikToks and your little shorts to say that we were going through. What happened?
You don't support Newcastle. I see. I challenge
No.
you.
I'm talking about what you said,
I
Hooks.
challenge you on what you said as a Forest fan.
And I have answered you and said,
and you got to go to all Newcastle.
bring in your receipts.
Newcastle and all that.
Bring in your receipts at the end of the season. But I have a receipt right here doing the same thing you've done. What happened against Newcastle when you said you would turn it around from 2-0 and go through? And may I add, go on and win the Carabao Cup.
What happened when you said you was going to finish above Newcastle in the Prem?
I haven't said that.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Don't make me go digging.
Dig away. Habibi, dig away.
Wolfie, where did I say you'd finish? Nottingham Forest.
Relegation.
I'm talking about since we started doing the shows together. I said you'd finish 7th, right?
Outside. No, you said outside of Europe.
I said Wolfie.
I'm pretty sure you said outside of Europe.
Wolfie, you're getting there.
Bro, I don't keep a dossier of every word you say, Safa, man. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
You do when you seem to want to have a go at me about something. You pull it out the bag.
Some things stick out more than others, yeah. But I'm pretty sure you said outside of Europe.
Do you think you'll finish 7th, Wolfie?
No. We finished between 5th and 3rd.
Wow. Do you know how many points off 7th you are?
How many points off 3rd are we?
How many? But you're 2 points off 3rd and 3 points off 7th.
Okay, so we're closer to 3rd than.
Yeah, I mean, surely, yeah. Why not?
I love
this guy. I love Wolfie.
Do you still? What you think we finished 7th, Sever?
I'm staying with my guns. Yeah, you're going to finish 7th. I don't know why that's a crazy take. You are.
Did I say it was a crazy take? I'm just I'm just double checking my receipts. Now I'm doing a Hooks here, right?
7th.
Okay. Hooks, could you make a note in your receipts diary for me, please?
Yeah. Hooks.
Wait.
Sava said 7th.
7th. Sava saying Forest 7th.
Hooks has been on the bloody shows with us when I've said 7th, and you and Ant were like, nah, we'll never fall that far down the table. I'm telling you.
That is close.
Villa
Villa
have now got nothing to concentrate on, have they, other than one FA Cup game? Same as you.
Okay.
Man
so
City
Villa in
will
the
take
exact
you.
same boat as Forest. So, okay.
I'm
And
telling
we've got
you.
3 points on them. And they're playing Newcastle this weekend. And I could
ya.
argue any one of those 3 results is in my favour. Although I'd rather just Newcastle won.
Sure.
So,
But also Everton at home was in your favour, right? And
yeah, but now Everton can sort me out this weekend because they got Man City at Goodison. So there's plenty still to go.
there is.
Plenty still to
Absolutely.
go.
I just like the odds more now, Wolfie, because when I said 7th, I think you were like 12 or 13.
I'm pretty sure you said outside of Europe completely, bro.
Oh, here we go.
This is changed.
So if you're revising us up to 7th, that's fine. That's you coming up slightly.
I said you will get Conference League, which is 7th, but I now think
I'm pretty sure. Was it on the collective? I'm pretty sure you said we will fall out of Europe.
Hang on.
Because you do this Forest have lost 2 games in a row 3 times this season, and every time it's happened, you've got a little excited. And then Forest bounced back last time with a 7-0.
You know why I'm more excited this time? Do you know why I'm more excited?
Because it's you.
Because Villa, City, and Newcastle and those boys are now all there.
Well, hold on, Sava. But the main point here is: do you trust your team to stop my team from getting 3 points?
God, no. No, you'll beat. No.
Okay, so if you think we'll beat you, do you think we lose to Leicester at home?
I think we'll draw to you lot. I
It's a
think we'll
derby.
draw on Monday night.
It's a derby, you never know.
It's not a derby. It's not a derby.
All
I'm saying is we need 65, maybe 66 points. And they're all playing each other underneath us.
You need 3 more wins from 6.
Hey, I'd say 7-8 points gets you there.
Okay, so 2 wins, maybe 2 draws.
And a draw or 2, yeah.
Okay.
I think Liverpool. I mean, obviously Liverpool won the league. I'll say Arsenal will hang on to second, but I really don't care. Yeah, I think Arsenal probably will hold on to second, but I think Newcastle could actually get second. I'm that much of a lover of what they're doing. I think it will be Arsenal, then Newcastle, and then I think Man City will get fourth. I do think Forest will hold on to fifth. I actually do. And then I think Villa come in sixth and Chelsea. I'm not sure about Chelsea even hanging on to seventh. They look so bad. It is incredibly, it's just worrying if I'm Chelsea. But they probably will, but it's like...
It's that gap. If you look at the gap between Villa and Bournemouth, that 6-point gap is I can't see the top seven changing. I mean,
have you seen Chelsea's fixtures though, Sava? They look so bad, man.
True. The problem is though, have a look at, if you look at Fulham, if you look at Bournemouth, if you look at Brighton, look at the 3 teams that are 6 points behind. None of them can string 2 wins together.
Well, Fulham,
but do you think Fulham will beat Chelsea, Stava? Because look, they got Chelsea next, and look at their pattern.
Where is it?
Fulham at Craven Cottage against Chelsea.
At the Cottage.
Fulham. And they'll be 3 points behind them then.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Who have Villa got this weekend?
Newcastle.
Where is it?
Villa Park.
Do you know what I mean?
It's going to be interesting. All I know is, before I met Wolfie, I would have been really happy for Nottingham Forest to have been second or third.
We met like 4 years ago, man. What are you talking about?
since I've been friends with Wolfie and streaming with him, I'm now championing them in the Conference League. I want them to have to go and play in the far-flung parts of Europe on horrible pitches on a Thursday night.
It's mad. It's mad. Listen, people, we're going to close. Big up to everyone that's locked in today. It's been a mad show. I thought it would. Big up to Cal and to George who were on with us earlier. Big up to Hooks, halftime Hooks, people. Let's come get my guy up to 10K. Come on, let's do it. Likewise, Football Heritage TV Plus. Let's make sure that we're subscribed to Sava. And of course, Forest Fan TV, the legend that is Wolfie. Let's make sure you come and show him some love. Sava, I hope you enjoyed tonight, mate, as best you can.
I'm up for it now, Dan.
Yeah,
I'm up for it. I'm up for it. Wolfie's teed me up.
He's psyched.
Sava, at least I didn't call you the C word, bro. Unlike
Wolfie, do you know what? I've been called that word by that man so many times that I'm now numb to the meaning of the C word. Like it's just like a term of affection. It's
I'm just saying our relationship hasn't gone that far yet, Sava, man. We got work to do.
I'll say this, Sav, right? Because I've known you a few years now. You did so well, bro, to keep your cool there. Like so
I tried.
Well, bro.
I cracked a bit at the end. I'll tell you what, shamelessly, if anyone hasn't seen it, watch it. It helps me with views, but watch it on Football Heritage TV. It is madness. And I think he comes on at about 1 hour.
2 hours 10, something like that.
2 hours, something like, in and around the 2 hour mark. And I've
never a little surprise for you. This is unknown to you. Backstage right now, we have.
Can you imagine?
I was live, right? And someone said, "Oh, he's posted on his community page about you." Like, and I was like, I'm seeing this post that says, Sava's ducked me. Sava's live right now. He's ducked me or whatever. He's a coward." And I'm like, I wrote straight back and went, "I'm live right now. Here's the link. Come and join me." And he's like, "No, you had your chance." Then he comes on and, oh, mate, just, oh.
It's so weird.
Anyway,
it's so weird. But listen, big up. Make sure you're going and following Football Heritage TV and Football Heritage TV Plus, and go check that one out. What's the stream? What's the show called? That show, Sava, that you had? What was it? So they can find it, because that is well worth a watch.
Don't believe the lies. Don't believe the lies.
It's absolute comedy gold to watch. It really is. I can't lie.
It's this. It's picture of James Maddison. It says, "Stop listening to the lies" by the Hotspur hippie.
There we go. Go check it out, people, because you will thank me. Trust me, you will thank me. You're going to be sent over and redirected now to Curtis on Curtis Shaw TV. Go show him some love. Go say Dan Potts raid, 12-man raid, whatever you want to say. Big up to all of the new mods in the house doing their job fantastically well. Hit unbelievable amounts of subscribers to that as well on this show and likes. So please make sure that you hit the like and subscribe. And we will see you next time, people. Take it easy. We're out of here. Laters.